Hello, Magic players. It's Corn, and today I have a deck that I had a lot of fun with in the last day or so. I built it all around Thundering Raiju. I just realized I've been calling it Raijin this whole time, but that's okay. Thundering Raiju, which whenever Thundering Raiju attacks, put a +1 counter on target creature you control, then it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control, other than Thundering Raiju. Now, the rest of the deck is built around having modified creatures. Kumano faces Kakazan. That one will put a +1 counter on a creature you cast. We have Swarm Shambler, which gives +1 counters and gives you bugs whenever your opponent targets one of your +1 counter creatures. Iron Apprentice comes in with a +1 counter. When it dies, it puts that counter or those counters on something else. Upriser Renegade has actually been a surprisingly powerful card. Gets +2 over each other modified creature you control. You easily have 2 a lot of the time, at least. So he is essentially a 2-drop 5/3. Goro Goro, activate only if you control an attacking modified creature. He makes a 5/5 for 5. Rarely ever do we reach the mana to actually cast that. Only 18 lands. Very few lands because it's a very aggro deck. I should probably have 1 or 2 more lands, but that's just not the way it is right now. Goro Goro, 4 copies because never mind that he's legendary. He usually dies to whatever our opponent has because they're worried about us getting the 5/5. In the 3-drop slot, we have 4 Oran Reef Ooze. Puts a +1 counter on a creature whenever it attacks. Put a +1 counter on each attacking creature with a +1 counter, which is most of our things, even sometimes the Upriser Renegades, if you use Kumano or Snakeskin Veil. Kodama of the West Tree, modified creatures have trample. That gives most of our things trample, which is good. Also lets you get lands, although I haven't seen that happen a lot. Thundering Raiju is the top of the curve. Now for removal, 4 Kami's Flare, deals 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, 2 damage to that the controller of that creature, to that permanent's controller. Oh, it can also hit planeswalkers. That's relevant. A Braid, 3 damage to target creature or destroy an artifact, and 2 Flame Blessed Bolt. And then we also have the 4 Snakeskin Veil to dodge our opponent's removal and put +1 on counters on creatures that don't have them, such as Renegade, Goro Goro, Kodama of the West Tree. Mainly for dodging removal, though. Out in lands, we have 1 Boseiju, 1 Sokenzen, 2 Den of the Bugbear, 1 Lair of the Hydra, and then our basics. So, again, only 18 lands. I probably should have more, but as of now, we're running it real low on lands, because I don't know. When I first learned to play Magic, I was always doing 20 lands in a deck. That's what I always thought was appropriate, was a third of the deck is lands. 1 in 3 chance per card that it's a land, so most hands you should have 2. Like that. And this is not the best, but that's really slow, actually. Probably gonna mull that. That's even worse. That's even worse. Well, this would happen when I actually try to, this would happen, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3. That's very rough. We may even just concede very quickly. Especially against whatever this is. I don't like that art for Voldaler and Epicure. I don't like that it has dreadlocks. I don't know if the other one also has dreadlocks, but that's ugly to me. Kumano faces Kakazan. Then we play Swarm Shambler. I'm okay with him blocking the Iron Apprentice, because I get to put a +1 counter on Renegade. Oh no, never mind, I don't. Well, like I said, we're probably gonna concede soon. And here I am talking about how I probably need more lands. Looks like it's about that time. You can just turn that on and swing. Or do that. Synthesizer, but didn't he already play everything he could? I think it's better to put more counters on Swarm Shambler than to swing for just 2. Yeah, see. Sure. Now, if he gets the Oni Clan Anvil, then we're in a tougher spot. I do still think that I target the Blood Tithe Harvester. Yeah. No blocks. Oh, maybe I should have done that the other way. Oh well. Oh, because he has a blood token, so his stuff's never gonna run out. I'm surprised I'm doing this this well with a mold of 4, honestly. Opponent. It's not so much that they haven't had a lot of powerful cards. They did spend a lot of cards just dealing with my simple stuff, you know? The Exile. Oni Cult Anvil. I hope you don't have a mountain, dude. I guess I have no reason to put a counter on it. Doesn't have the mana to sacrifice for statuary. Oh, that's my bad. Alright, Flame Blast Bolt. Well, that's dead in the water. I have to draw 2 cards for that to be useful. Opponent doesn't have much, but they do have more lands. And now we don't have much either. So, I don't know, it looks like we're both not doing that great. If they go Oni Cult Anvil, I might just concede. They somehow managed to... Ooh, that also hurts quite a bit. If I'm being honest. And that counts as sacrificing, so it even turns on the statuette. He didn't swing with the 3-1. Wonder what else he has. Well, Hive is pretty good. I'll let him sacrifice another blood token. Nice little interaction there. I have a deck built like this. It doesn't run the smelter. Take 8, go down to 5. I don't think there's anything that could go down to 4, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much a foregone conclusion. I guess I'll try to find slots for a couple more lands. Initially, I had some of the man lands. The ones that are not man lands. The ones that are also spells. I don't know what you call those. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now we'll just add 2 mountains, and we'll cut 2 of something. I mean, the whole deck is pretty much built around Thundering Raijin, but the 4-drop slot is pretty big. So we'll drop Raijin and Goro Goro down to 3 ofs. At least for now, it constantly changes, you know? My first version of this didn't even have Kami's Flare. I had just somehow forgot that Kami's Flare was a card. It's sort of like a bad Searing Blaze. I'm eating some pretzels, so you might hear some crunching. Well, if I draw Mountain anything, this is pretty great. Play risky. Should have played Swarm Shambler. That way I could put the counter and play Iron Apprentice. Man, people just play like the same things. I did build a version of this with Luminarch Aspirant, but it just made me angry because I was playing the same dumb thing that everyone plays. And I don't like that. I don't like playing the same deck that everyone else is already playing. That has reach. So here we are, both building up our boards. I think he's going to end up winning this one in the long run because of Aspirant. And because of that. Oh, and that thing has Vigilance. Yeah, we're going to concede here. Alright, let's not keep a one-land hand. Even though I did end up drawing the mountain. Bad show, bad show. How long has it been? 13 minutes. 13 minutes, already managed to lose 2 games. Let's get it. I have seen this deck work several times, and then I go to record, and it's like, nope. Let's do the Kumano, and then swing. What is he gonna opt, or consider? Just the one that's in standard? Is he gonna try to bounce the Apprentice? Because then I just replay it. I don't know what he could have for 1 blue mana that would do anything. Play it. Play whatever draw spell. It's not opt, is it? That would let him scry. That's probably unnecessary. Next creature spell you cast. Unfortunately, I did not draw the land to actually cast a creature spell. I wish this dog wouldn't make noises. Yeah, I don't like that little howl. Yeah, see, using the thing on him was just stupid. I could have... oh well. I can't really beat that. It's pretty bad that, like, one of the most common cards in the entire format is enough to just hose my entire strategy. Maybe not. Discards the planes to get the planes, which means he has another land. Play one more. I mean, if it was an artifact, that'd be kind of nice, because then I could just blow it up with a braid. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Brutal. Brutal. I wish I had the third man to give him haste and just punch through, but no such luck. Gingitaxius. Yeah, artifact, instant, or sorcery counter only trigger. Artifact, instant, or sorcery does not include the ooze. This is whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery, copy it. Brutal. So I can't cast either of these. They'll just die. Or opponent casts an artifact on surface ability triggers only once each turn. I don't think I can win now. Unless I were to, like, swing Raiju, buff Ooze. Yeah, he's buffing that. So he will eventually be able to start swinging at me. He just foretold probably a counter spell. It is Mountain. Don't think that Thundering Raiju is actually the way to go right now. Unless I put a +1 counter on Goro Goro. No, because then he just makes that a 6/6. Huh. I can punch him for 2. I think we just try to play it, but don't actually swing. Which is awkward. It's actually very awkward. One, two, three, four, 5. Yeah, he would have taken 5, theoretically. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. I guess I should have played around that. Swarm Shambler. Go. I guess I should have hit for 5 and then hoped on Kami's Flare to actually win it. But then he wouldn't have board wiped. I don't know what I hope for here. Invoke Justice. Brutal. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do from there. Did get him pretty low, but not there. Alright, well now I'm just playing for fun. This recording is not going up. I'm going to throw this in the do not post thing because I'm just losing. What is with this? Is it because I'm recording? Do you know? Does Wizard somehow know that I'm recording? And they're like, you get awful hands. Nah, that's just some good old-fashioned paranoia. There we go. Maybe I will post this after all. We actually have a good hand. Look at this. I have a removal spell. I have several creatures. I have a whole curve here. Astounding. I don't think I swing. I play Apprentice. Pass and put a +1 counter on him. World Tree. Kaldheim can't rotate out soon enough. I don't think I have anything that's double green. Yeah, Thundering Raiju is big here. What? Man, I get an actually good hand and I end up playing against whatever the most janky thing imaginable is. Okay, well that does change plans though. The deck thinning is real. Man, if I end up losing to this, whatever this... Looks like an unorganized pile of cards made by a new player. Alright. I don't feel good about that victory, because it looks like my opponent had no idea what they were doing. They're probably a new player making do with what cards they have, which I can understand. When I first started Arena, that's basically what I did. Do I start with Shambler or Kumano? If I start with Shambler, then next turn I'm able to Kumano, put a counter. I start with Kumano. Be more aggressive. Or you cast your next creature spell. Okay. It's only one. Rather have the extra counter on... I'd rather have Swarm Shambler first, just in case he has any kind of targeted removal. Then I'll get an insect. Yeah, like that. That's neat looking. Is that from the new thing? Must be. Makes metal noises. Oh, well now I've won a couple games. I guess you win some, you lose some. That's the way it goes. For me, I lose some, I win some. I can probably post this. I prefer it that way. I don't want to only post videos where it's like, oh, I won a bunch of games. Look how good at Magic I am. But I also don't want to post it if I'm just like, I lose the whole time. That's no fun to watch. Sometimes it's fun to play. Sometimes, but not normally. I have no video editing ability, so this is very eggs in one basket, but that's okay. If I play the Iron Apprentice, I guess that answers that question. The only reason I'm holding this back is because I'm expecting him to play Luminarch Aspirant. Alright, fine. I do have another removal spell, so... Okay. In a half-decent position, although he still has a lot of cards. He hits me for 1 and does nothing else. Well, then it's Westry. Let's get it. He doesn't have Wandering Emperor mana yet. Oh, he's reading it. What does that do? No one plays that. Why are you playing bad cards? Literally me against one of my last opponents. If I had more copies of this card, I'd probably build mono white too. Hello, you look like a target to me. A target for me to go zap zap on. I'm more worried about removal than I am about, I'm more worried about removal than I am about getting in 1 more damage here. Especially with Bugbear. Basic land card. Maybe I should run more man lands. What the? Undo. Yeah. Sure. Now you have a Wandering Emperor. And he still concedes, because I think he was still dead. Very cool. Thanks, Horbo. Very cool. I think that'll be it. I think I lost 3 and then won 3, and that amuses me.